What's going on, fucking cyclists here? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me. Today we're in the beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. We're gonna be doing a bit of a city ride, checking out some things in the area, also the local bridge, and hopefully some parts outside of the city as well. We'll see how it goes. Looking forward to this ride. See you guys soon. Today we start our ride from the Charleston Marina. Views from the marina and waterfront are beautiful, providing a great backdrop to this historic city. We are riding into the historic district. Charleston is very nice. It's a very historic city. Got a lot of interesting landmarks and homes from some famous people in the area. So I'm looking forward to maybe stopping by some of those, check them out. Also checking out the Ravenel Bridge too. I believe that was constructed in 2005, and it has great views of the city as well. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to doing that too. You can tell this is an older community, about how small the streets are. The architecture includes what Charlestonians call piazzas, or what most others know as porches that run the length of the house. These homes are 2 to 3 stories with a narrow profile due to the smaller lot space. Streets in these areas are very narrow, which is common in older city layouts. You'll find similar roads in Europe and older communities in the world. Although they present challenges for modern day traffic, there's a nostalgic feeling you get that takes you back to another time, which to me is priceless. That's probably why the average home price as of 2025 is just under $2 million. Due to its location, visitors and locals have access to parks and outdoor areas right on the water, including the Battery, the public pier, the East Dog Park. You can also get great views along Murray Boulevard. There was some construction when I took this ride, but it's still an amazing area which is accessible to the public. Heading north, you'll encounter famous homes like the Poyas Mordecai House and churches including St. Michael's and the St. Philip's Episcopal Church. The Charleston City Market is a great location with all kinds of food, clothing, souvenirs, and everything in between from local vendors. The market is near the famous King Street with well-known retailers, department stores, and local boutiques. Now we're heading to the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge. Built in 2005, this bridge is 2.5 miles long, 8 lanes, a pedestrian and bicycle path with a span of over 1,500 feet. The Ravenel Bridge replaced the original Cooper River bridges built in the 1900s. It's not only beautiful engineering, but it's also functional. It can withstand winds of over 300 miles per hour, and is high enough to accommodate large shipping vessels. Up here you can get great views of Charleston, the Mount Pleasant area, and the USS Yorktown aircraft carrier. So there we are, guys. Stop at the Ravenel Bridge. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Great view. You can see a lot of Charleston from here and other areas as well. And the climb the grade isn't that bad. It depends on what side. I come from the Charleston side, so it wasn't that bad on the bike that I had. But folks are out here running, walking. They do a little bit of everything. So I'm gonna head back now, check a few more areas. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Go head her back down. Going up, we had the tailwind. That's why I was so easy. Got the headwind coming back. Boy, even just cruising, you get that crosswind, woo, it'll push you over. And during my stay in Charleston, I also took a few tours and stopped by a few museums just to get a little bit more about the city and what it was really about. Fort Sumter is just a ferry ride away from Charleston. This famous fort was the location for the first engagement of the Civil War as the southern states decided to secede from the Union. After the bombardment, the Union surrendered the fort to the South but eventually returned to reclaim it. General Lee surrendered to General Grant after his Southern army was destroyed, marking the end of the conflict and Civil War. Making your way through the city, it captivates you, takes you back to a time where things were simpler with homes from famous Charlestonians. So it begs the question, how were they able to afford these beautiful properties and land during that time? Charleston was the largest and wealthiest city south of Philadelphia in the 1800s. What many people don't know is Charleston had a major role in the slave trade. Almost one half of enslaved people imported into the United States arrived in Charleston. Some of the storefront properties tourists walk past today were actually retail locations for slave trading. Enslaved people were processed through Sullivan's Island, a quarantine station at the entrance of Charleston Harbor. One historian even named this location the Ellis Island of African Americans after the famous processing station located in New York City during the Great Migration of its time. Many of those immigrants came of their own free will, unlike the enslaved people that arrived in Charleston. The Slave Mart located on Chalmers Street contains many details and documents telling the story of enslaved people and the deplorable experiences they endured. Slaves were bought and sold just like retail goods. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. I'm grateful for the fact that this location has been preserved and is open to the public and not masked, so generations of Americans and tourists get to see this historical part of Charleston. The International African American Museum is located right here in Charleston. It is an amazing experience sharing the stories and culture of the African Americans in this community. Here you'll find information on different cultural groups, including the Gullah Geechee, a unique African American heritage that developed in the coastal regions in the Southeast, particularly in the low country regions of South Carolina, Georgia, and parts of Florida. I also visited the McLeod Plantation for an in-depth tour to see the experiences of enslaved people who were actually brought into Charleston. This tour was very insightful as we heard about the experience of children and adults in their daily lives. Young boys carried heavy pots of food that could scald their skin. Young girls were used as actual life-size dolls for enslavers' children. Adults endured unthinkable labor conditions, humiliation, physical and psychological torture, all to ensure they were kept down with the belief that they were no option for escape or freedom. If you have time, I highly recommend this tour to fully immerse yourself in this part of American history. Charleston provides a great city ride with much to see and do. You will have no issues navigating the serene neighborhoods, parks, and waterfront locations with ease. Charleston traffic can be pretty busy during the day, especially in the shopping and tourist areas. Be on the lookout for cars, tour buses, pedestrians, and don't forget those horse carriages. This ride includes history, nature, shopping, entertainment, and architecture. I highly recommend a visit whether you're riding or just taking a walk to see the sights. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more amazing rides on the way. See you all soon. Be safe and take care.